Hey, what's going on, everybody? Matt Rooney back here with BetSperts coming at you with some preseason college football picks. We're going to go back to some win totals today and talk Purdue Boilermakers. I love their over 7.5. It's a plus 140 on FanDuel. I just really like this team and what they got coming back. They got Aiden O'Connell coming back, who led an offense last year, averaged 440 yards of offense, 29 points a game. They do lose David Bell. They're down their top two receivers from last year, but they do have some talent coming back. They have Peyton Durham, who's a really good tight end. Tyrone Tracy, transfer from Iowa coming in. He's a really solid option in the slot. Run game definitely needs to improve, but really the improvement just needs to be marginal because they were so bad last year. They return a few starters on the offensive line. Some consistency there will help. King Doru's back as their running back. I know he wasn't necessarily great last year, but when you can get some continuity in the run game coming back, I think that's going to be really helpful for them running the football. And again, I know I said it, but Aiden O'Connell coming back, he was so good last year. I know they don't have David Bell, but really just kind of they're going to need to replace him by committee with guys stepping up. And when you have as good of a quarterback as Aiden O'Connell coming back, I think that's a lot easier to do. They also have 8 starters coming back on the defense, or 8 contributors coming back on the defense from what was a top 50 defense last year. So not great, but definitely got the job done. And again, similar to the offensive line and the run game, when you have continuity coming back, you're usually due for an improvement. So I think that defense gets a little bit better. And if it is, Purdue's offense is going to put up a ton of points. So I really do like they're over 7.5. And then you look at the schedule. The schedule lines up for them really, really nicely. They open up at home against Penn State. That's a tough game to open up with, but you get Penn State at home out of the way early at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night. Big matchup to start the year. You got a high-flying offense. Penn State's not necessarily going to be the most high-flying offense this year. Sean Clifford's back. He's not that great of a quarterback. So if you can get out to an early lead and score some points, I don't think Penn State's going to keep up. And if you win that game, you're probably looking at a 4-0 September for the Boilermakers. So I really think the possibility for a quick start to that season, get out to a 4-0 start, and then the rest of the schedule kind of lines up nicely. There's no Ohio State. There's no Michigan. There's no Michigan State. The toughest game is at Wisconsin, which is going to be a tough game. But again, if you can score some points there, that's an offense that's not going to put up a ton of points either. So I think they have really a lot of winnable games and not the toughest conference schedule this year. That's also why I kind of like them at plus 600 to win the Big Ten West. Wisconsin's going to be a little bit inconsistent this year. That division is very, very wide open. And when you have an offense like Purdue's in the Big Ten that can put up this many points and a schedule that lines up the way it does, I really like Purdue this year with the value there. Over 7.5 wins, plus 140. Take a flyer on them to win the West at plus 600. Not the Big Ten, because they're not going to do that, but take a flyer on them to win the Big Ten West at plus 600. And that's all I got for you today. We'll be back tomorrow with another team, another preseason pick. Have a good one, guys.